Okay, so here's an update. Oh, there we go. Making babies, filling eggs. That is O'Reilly and Clement. This is Zephyr and Robin, and they are going along gangbusters. For a newbie pair, they got a good jump on it. She's in and out of that box, and will probably move in permanently pretty soon. These two, this is Ash and Raspberry, and they are still playing Crazy Bird. Not really. They're interested in the box. Let me see if they've gone in it yet. I don't see any grass in there, so I don't think they've even gone in here yet. So they're just still playing Crazy Bird. It'll take them a couple of weeks. These two are clearly on the go. Nope. This is Sunny and Plushie, and Plushie's still playing Crazy Girl. Has anybody gone in the box yet? Nope. So they're doing that. This is Gaslight and his girl. Looks like she's in the box. Yes, she is. We'll just leave her be. That's Belle. She's gone in the box. This is Amenadiel and Cerulean. And has Cerulean been in the box? There is grass in there. Okay, girl. And this is Nile. Now, Nile used to be over there with Minty in a white cage, but Minty just was not putting on any condition. I just didn't like the looks of her, so I pulled her out, and he is in here with Fleur, who I believe she was with little Scrappy last time and raised me some beautiful chicks. And if you can make beautiful chicks with that little golden face Scrap, then you'll certainly do something wonderful with this guy. So the reason I moved him is because they considered a cage a breeding territory, and in the white cage, his breeding territory included a different mate, and I didn't want him to reject this one because he was hooked on the other one. So I moved him to a different territory. As far as he's concerned, this was probably her territory, and he just showed up here. And she's like, oh, well, look, he's here, and he's got a box, so let's do this. They're both experienced, and they will put this together immediately. She has already been in the box, and now she goes again. She loves that box. This is Callahan and Rain, and I just gave them their box, and Rain is already in it. Nothing like experienced pairs, bonded pairs especially. Larkspur is kind of slowing down. I think the medication has her feeling a little icky, but her cere is still the right color. I can see she's lost a little weight, so she may be not drinking as little as possible to avoid the nasty medicine. But it's over tomorrow, and then she can move forward. This is Dolorite and his girl Shamrock, who is in that box. She's sitting in there most of the time. For a newbie hen, she's really putting it on quick. This is Murphy and Amethyst is, playing Crazy Girl and being goofy, but she loves her Murphy. She just isn't in any big hurry to get in an S-box. And this complete and total absence is Danube and Tansy. Oh, there's Danube over there. There's Danube and Tansy's in the box, and I'm expecting an egg any time. This is Kenny Loggins and his girl Asker is in the box. She's been taking her sweet time, but she finally got in it today. And tomorrow the medicine goes away, so it's all good. Will you stop knocking down that divider? I think he's kind of tormenting these two, and that's one of the reasons that Larkspur is taking her time. So I'll put it back up again. Somebody asked me, why don't I just, see him? He's peering over the top of it and looking in at them. So why don't I just get little thin pieces of plywood and stick them in here or something? And the answer is because I don't need these dividers the whole time they're breeding. In fact, once the males take over childcare, it becomes really important to take the dividers out so they can see each other, because it makes them remain territorial and protective over their chicks rather than turning on one of their hens and trying to recruit her as a mate. So I'm all about temporary, throw away, go ahead, chew it up, I don't care, we were going to get rid of it anyway. Dividers. These two are very lovey-dovey. but she's still playing crazy girl. She has been in the nest box, but she's not moving into the nest box yet. This is Bubba Jr. and his sif is in there. No egg yet. And this is Puff and Jade, and they're very lovey-dovey and very crazy birds. So it'll be a while. So this is another new pair that I put in. Little S'more is still here and still good. She's tiny, but I love her feather. And this male that I put her with, he was bred to Airy last time. He does not have great feather, but he's a big, hunky guy. And he has great feather in his line. And when I bred him with Airy, I got a little tiny bird, because Airy was a little tiny hen too. But he's very, very fluffy. Fluffier than his father even. And since Airy's line has no feather at all, he must have gotten it from his father. So I'm hoping with his nice fluffy little girl, she has a much better head than she appears to have. It's sucked down right now, but her head stands a half inch over the top of her skull. So I have high hopes. I gave my borks are very, very active, which I'm thrilled about. So I gave them a nest box. They're very interested in what's going on over here with the parakeets. So what I might do is put a divider up there so they can't see the parakeets. But because they might find the parakeets a threat. Hell, the parakeets find the parakeets a threat. So so I may put a divider up there for them, even though they're different species, just so they don't feel threatened. But look at how lively and awake he is. That's the best I've seen this bird since I owned him. So this is G-Wiz, the Lutino cock, and his dottie, who's a pearl hen. Wiz is actually split pearl. So I just was sitting here and going, wait a minute, did I clean that box? And I couldn't remember. So I pulled it and I cleaned it. I will, it's drip drying right now, and I'm going to go put it on a heater so I can give it back to them before bedtime tonight. Because they hadn't moved into it yet, but they were peering into it. And, the last thing we need to do is give them a diseased nest box. So, and this is Zoo and Cotton, who are in their nest box, thinking about making eggs. You beautiful birdie, you. And this is my terrible little Fosters. They've had these nest boxes for about an hour now. And there's no blood yet, but there will be. So let me give you my little Foster talk. First of all, to a budgie breeder, space is at a premium. As you can see, I have a limited amount of space for breeding cages. The more cages I can put budgies in, the better. So I said, why would I do Fosters, little parakeets, to raise other birds' chicks if they take up the same amount of space as show budgies? So I said, you know what? I will try Fosters in a smaller space. So this cage actually has the volume of 3 breeding cages, but as far as where it hangs on the wall, it's only taking up the space of 2. So the other thing is, people are like, oh yeah, you can community breed parakeets. Sure, it is not that easy, unless you don't mind the bloodshed and the massacres and all that kind of stuff. In the wild, they would have much larger territories and be breeding well apart from each other, and there would be no need to fight. It would be easy for them to observe each other's territorial signs, and it would not be an issue. But when you put a bunch of budgies in a cage together with nest boxes, the bloodshed begins, because this is too close a quarters for them. So things that I did to compensate for that. This is a very, very stable community. I got 8 budgies, 4 boys and 4 girls. I moved them into this cage. They never have any other budgies in here with them, and they never go anywhere else. This is their world. This is their community. They know who their mates are, and they knew who their mates are for months before I ever put nest boxes on these cages. So that goes a long ways towards reducing the bloodshed. And then the other thing is, I do still get bloodshed. I haven't eliminated it. This first period for about 2 weeks while the hens are laying claim to nests is a time when hens will get damaged. The cocks usually not. It's the hens that have these rolling, screaming fights. That little yellow-faced one is really an instigator, even though she's low-ranking. And last year she lost a toe. And I had to pull her and give her Amtil for 5 days to make sure she didn't get a serious infection. And then put her back in again, and she kept right on fighting. So it's a tough time. I watch them like a hawk. There's a few little tricks you can play. If it gets too crazy, pulling a hen and letting another one get established. If you can figure out which one's more dominant, pull the less dominant hen. Let the more dominant one get established in a box, and then put the less dominant one back in again. But all in all, it's just they're cantankerous, fighting little creatures, and they will fight while they're getting established in their nest. The other thing that I do is these nest boxes go in the same place every time I do this. So this is the left side nest box. This is the left front nest box. This is the right front nest box, and this is the right side nest box. So their same nest boxes are in the same place, and one of the things that I found is that they do prefer to go back to the nest box they used before. So like my little green hen was in that far nest box on the front of the cage over there, and she moved in there the instant I put it in the cage. This white hen has been in 2 different nest boxes. So she's kind of indecisive. She and this little yellow-faced hen will probably end up coming to blows. They always do. Whereas my blue hen, who is right now currently looking in that box, she doesn't know somebody's in there, but she's going to find out pretty quick. Oh, there. She's like, oh, shite. She is actually a higher-ranking hen, but she doesn't like to fight. So her inclination is to just kind of wait around until everyone else figures out what they want and then take the last box. Somebody told me, put a 5th box on there, which I did. You see that that lid over there that's covering a hole that I cut in the bars? I put a 5th box on there. It made no difference at all. Anyway, so it's kind of a tough thing, but what I have found is once these hens settle, the fighting is over. They do not raid nests. They don't kill each other's babies. They just take care of business, and the cocks take care of them. And then when I make sure that I fill each nest with babies that will hatch at the same time, regardless of when the hen laid eggs, because all her eggs are going in the freezer anyway. Because what's going to happen is when the hens flip at about 25 days and want to reset and start another nest, they will leave their nest and go into another hen's nest and kill her babies in order to take over the nest and start another nest of her own. So I make sure all of the eggs that I put in here are hatching within a few days of each other, and I pull the hens all at the same time and leave the cocks in here to finish it, and they do a splendid job, and there's no bloodshed and no dead babies and no eggs thrown out or anything else. So this is really working for me. These little guys get the job done. It's a little horrifying this first couple of weeks, but I'm getting tougher. And I'm always hopeful that at some point they will just settle and not have to beat the shit out of each other before they decide who gets what nest box. So, okay, so the fosters have been activated. And there will be drama.